Okay, oopsie daisy, hang on. Now, okay. All right, let me turn this off. I have my heater going. So, I can't tell what's happening. Am I on? I have mixed messages from YouTube. One thing says there's an error, and one thing says I have an excellent connection. So is anybody there, and can you see and hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. So, hey, Mary Jane, how's it going? Hey, Dylan. Ewan, how's it going? Wheathunt. Okay, groovy. Upscale Orca. Interesting. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How many people do we have? Starting with 12 people already. Nice. I will wait a while, as usual, to kick off the evil timer. But, oops, excuse me, I gotta... I hope that wasn't too loud for me. Clear my throat. I kind of have the gain cranked up so that I can... So it'll be alright if I do these kind of whispery things. Do some whispery things. I think... I'm not sure what to start with tonight. Oh, you know what I'm going to start with tonight? Is some game playing. Because... Alright, so I have... Hey, Yickerman. It's... this weekend goes easy. Well, you know, we'll see. Let's see. So, I have a small bit of bad news and then some other news. Hey, Sandrine, how's it going? The bad news would be that Codebreaker doesn't seem to work anymore. So, but the good news is I've found another game that's potentially even more interesting. So, I will show it to you guys in a second here. Let me just, I think there's a couple of comments. Things are okay, Jack. And... Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I hope you like the Enigma gameplay. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to show you guys this. Let's move to this bit here. There we go. So, let me move my OBS doohickey out of my way. And so, this is Mastermind Online. I'm wondering how they can actually get away with using the name, because that's, I'm pretty sure Invicta owns the name Mastermind. It goes with games like these. But, well, let's just go ahead and look at it, because it has some interesting features. You can do, so 4 color, or 4 spaces, 6 spaces, or 8 spaces. I will just start, I guess, tonight with the 4 space thing. Here, let me move this so I can see the comments as well while I'm doing this. Okay. Right, all right. And so I'll do this. Okay. So as you can see, it's a pretty similar sort of layout. The differences are, well, 4 instead of 5 slots to guess in. And, but you can also do 6, so it's 4 or 6, so it's interesting. But it's red and white instead of black and white as far as the scoring pegs go. I guess that's really it. In some ways, this is a kind of a smoother interface, because you don't have to always go back to the ball and click it, right? See, I'm on red, so I don't have to keep going back to red. I can just like that. So I kind of like it. I will be doing some of this for a video sometime in the future, and I'll make sure that I remember to put the link so that you guys, if you want to try it on your own, that you will be able to do that. And again, my throat is... seems to be pretty consistent that somehow on Saturday... Oops, hang on, somebody's knocking on my door. I have to give you guys, pause you and whatnot. I will be right back. All right, sorry to be, what's all that? Okay. Well, Donald, I'm glad that my videos can help you rest. And I'm not sure, was that big red explanation points because of the be right back thing? My niece dropped by here. I might as well show you why she dropped by. And I got goodies. Well, a goodie, basically. It's a cannabis vaporizer thing. Oops, oh no, they're using the bathroom. I think that probably the toilet flush just came through. But anyway, so that was the motivation, or the, why there was an interruption. And I guess it's still continuing a little bit. They're on their way out. So anyway, sorry about all that nonsense, but I am happy to get the vaporizer things. That way I can stop exposing my lungs to the carcinogens that result from combustion. Anyway, so let's get back to business. Yep, dry herb vape. Yep, exactly, Jack. I have used it with them before. This is kind of a hand-me-down because they got a newer, better, fancier one, and so they gave me their. Well, it's fine for me because I have zero, so you know what I mean. And also, the way that they explained it to me, not tonight because we didn't have much time to talk about it, but in the past, is that when you do the dry herb vape, it doesn't burn, right? It just raises the temperature till the volatile chemicals, well, they get vaporized, right? And then so they, you can breathe those in, but so there's no combustion, so there's no carcinogens. But also, because of the way that works, not all of the THC, etc., gets expelled into the air for you to inhale. But so it's, what is that word? It's carboxylated or something like that. But so the remains you can use to cook. I mean, it won't be obviously as potent as if, you didn't do any vaping. But I've eaten some of the things that my niece makes with the results, and it's fine. So, there you go. I'm going to get better use out of the cannabis I do buy when I do buy it. Anyway, that's enough talking about cannabis tonight. Let's get back on to playing the Minecraft. Where did my head go with that? It's the Mastermind, excuse me. All right, so red and blue. I know that the red guy here is telling me that one of these is correct. I'm going to assume, just from a, it's probably the red, but so let's now introduce the yellow. Hey, what do you know? So I luckily chose the correct red one. There's the yellow one. Now let's throw in the green. Oopsie daisy, I didn't pick the right spot for yellow, and green is certainly not in. So we'll do red. I will move the yellow, and we'll do pink. All right, well now I have both red and yellow in the correct spot. And so we'll say red and yellow. And let's put the white one in. Hey, white's in it. I'm going to choose to use the left one, just arbitrarily. And there we go. Let's add in the black one here. Okay, the white one is in, the black one is out, so this will be red, white, yellow, purple, and this will be the end of it. What do you know? There's a little bit of water. Okay, now the only downside to this is you have to go back to start over again. And there is well, you know what, here, let me go back before I do this. Okay, so you can do it in 4, 6, or 8. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. This allows it so that you can have a color can be in the puzzle more than once, which I'll check that later, and we'll see how that goes. I have played it like that just because I just found this game recently, And it's, yeah, it's fine. It's a little bit different, kind of tweaks my brain when it gets to the logic, because it's like, oh, right, I forgot, you know what I mean? But doing it with just 4 and without duplicates is pretty easy. So I figure that's a pretty conducive ASMR-ish sort of thing, right? Because it'll be, well, there's one less spot to check, right? So that makes it easier. And that's really basically it. Well, let's go ahead and do, you know, another. Hey, Dylan, good to see you. I got a couple of Dylans tonight. Oh, I guess one is Dylan. I don't know. Is there any difference in pronunciation? Kind of seems, I mean, I would say it the same, but what do I know, man? Okay. I'm going to guess that it's the red. And let's stick in the yellow. And it was not the red, so we'll put the blue, and then we'll add green. What do you know? Blue, and I guess the right spot. So you'll notice how much difference it makes just removing that one. It's the difference between 20% and 25%, right? You see what I mean? Okay, green, which one? I'll just pick this one. Let's stick in pink. Somebody was making a bunch of noise with their car or motorcycle motor. Okay, I did not pick green correctly. You know, I got a couple of comments about how when I'm doing the game stuff that I start speaking pretty fast. So I should try to probably not do that. Okay, so we know blue is correct, right? Because of this line right here. I also know that green has to go in one of those 3, just not which one. That one's clearly wrong. But I also got a second white one, which means that the pink is in the puzzle, but it can't go in either of those 2 spots, so it has to go there, and that we'll get a red pick for that, for the scoring thing. Now let's introduce white just to see what happens. Okay, so the green still needs to move over. So we'll move the green, but we will keep the pink, and now we'll add in the black. What do you know? There we go. You know, I'll do just maybe 1 or 2 more of these, and then maybe I'll start with some triggers and stuff. All right, there we go. And okay, well, it has to be that the red is correct, right? Because if the blue stays there, there's no place new for the red to go, so it's got to be one of these 3 for the red. And let's just stick the blue one there for now, I guess. Let's see what that gets us. All right, now, here is it. Which one is it? Well, I'm going to just say the red goes there. I mean, it's just an arbitrary decision. We have to test it to be sure. Move the blue right here. I'll throw in the green. Hey, what do you know? Guessed right. Again, since there's 1 fewer spaces, it just makes it a little bit easier, that's all. Let's throw in the pink. Okay, I did not guess right for the green, so we'll move it again as well. And let's see, I just did pink, let's do white. What do you know? A lengthier one? Hi, Sandrine. I'm not sure what you mean. Did you want me to try one of the bigger ones? Like this guy? Oops, I always want to go down there. I don't know why. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, we'll do this here. Now, one interesting thing is because there's only 8 colors to choose from, so all but 2 of them will be in, right? You know what I mean? So it's kind of an interesting thing. And again, it's odd how it kind of screws with my head, you know, because I'm so used to playing the other one. I've been playing that one, Codebreaker, for, I don't know, it seems like ages. So I've kind of just developed some habits, you know what I mean? Just, you know, well, whatever. Anyway, let's just see what we get here. Okay, again, I'm going to toss the red over here just to see. Let's go ahead and put in the yellow. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure that it's the red, but that would make sense, right? But it could also be that it's one of these yellow and the blue needed to move. But let's just continue with the assumption of the red and see if that gets us anything. And there we go. Okay, hang on. That can't be right, can it? Because that means I've eliminated 3 colors, and that's right. I have 6 spots. I didn't click the duplicates thing, right? So, that means it wasn't the red, right? Because I mean, this is telling me it can't be blue, this is telling me it can't be yellow, and this is telling me it can't be green, assuming the red, right? But, well, that just gives us a contradiction, so it cannot be the red. So, we're going to put blue over here. I'm going to pick yellow here, and I'm going to pick green there. And now let's add the pink and see what that gets us. All right, see, now this is where I get kind of, ooh, wait a minute. Because since there's so many more spaces, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, what am I going to move them? And which ones, right? So let's pick those 2 just arbitrarily. If that's the case, though, then the pink has to go here. And we'll just move the green over. And let's see, let's stick in white, I guess is what we're looking for now, right? Okay. Okay, then this wasn't right, was it? If these 2 were right, and one of these white ones was referencing this pink, the only place left for it to go was there. So it would have to have given us a black peg for that one, right? So, that's not the case then. So let's take, maybe it was blue, but it's not the yellow, was not correct. Oh, thanks, Reclaimer. How's it going? Oh, I guess I could just call you Rob, shouldn't I? Anyway, okay, where was I? I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so we're going to keep the blue there, and we're going to stick the yellow there. And sorry, so now which of these? I'm going to say that it was the pink was the other red peg there, right? So that, say this one refers to the blue, this one refers to this pink, and the white and the green now need to move. So I'm going to move the green where the yellow was. And what else am I needing to move? Oh, I guess that's it. Everybody's there, right? We've got the blue here, we've got the pink there, yellow there, green there. Oh, nope, this won't work. I need to move. The green has to go here, and I'll have to put white there, you see, because the white can't stay there, right? You know, given the way I've kind of guessed everything. So let's just see what happens. We're gonna. It's got to be either the black or the purple, so we'll stick this one in and see. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's certainly true, Sandrine. Oh, hey, Nicola. I didn't see your comment there. I am okay. How are you doing? All right, so which ones were what here? So we know it's not, the blue did not go here. We know blue doesn't go there. What else can we deduce from this? We know the yellow doesn't go here. The white and the green. All right, so so I have to pick different ones down here, right? So I'm going to go back to that it was yellow, and perhaps the green. All right. So if yellow and green are correct, then the pink would have to go over here. That would mean, okay, I don't think this can work. See, what's going to happen is if these are these 2, that means white has to go here, and then black would have to go there, but then blue would be stuck being there. So that's not, it's not these 2, not the yellow and the green. So, so it could be maybe the yellow and one of the pinks. Oh, that's one thing that's kind of odd about this one. You can't move them. Well, it's not really moving them, but well, whatever. It's the way the interface goes. It kind of just throws me. All right, so I'm going to try the yellow, and I already did that yellow. So if I'm going to say it's the yellow one and the green, all right, that's not working. Green can't go here. So could these two, that could be a yellow and a green like this. One of these pinks could be right. This one shouldn't be. What should this one be? All right. So blue, where am I going to stick blue? White can't go here. White could go there, though, couldn't it? And black could come over here. And then blue could go there. Let me run through this real quick. Oh, I got some comments coming. Hey, VHS, how's it going? I am well. Hey, Kate Manda, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Hey, Benjamin, good to see you too. And I'm doing okay. Hope you are as well. Okay, let me just double check this mess here now. So, oh wait, no, blue can't go here. So who am I going to switch blue with? I guess I could switch blue with pink, couldn't I? Let's put pink here and put blue here. All right, let's go back down again. So, the blue one, that. The yellow one is there, which is fine. The green one is over here, which is fine. Now here's where we get, so I have the yellow one and the pink one are the two red pegs here. And the blue goes over there. And the green goes there. All right, so that's all fine. All right, so let's look at this line here. So the yellow is fine. The pink is fine. So there goes our two red pegs. Oh, wait, no, I already checked that one. I'm moving up to here now. So the yellow is fine. The green is fine. White is a white. Pink is a white. And the black is a white. Okay. I think this, right, these are all, I think this, well, I think it's consistent anyway, but let's just see. All right, half of them are right and half of them aren't. Oh, thanks, Benjamin. Right, you were right, Sandrine. Good night in advance, all right. Auditory ambient, that's funny. All right, so. All right, so what's going to be what here? Which ones actually can be moved easily? Okay. If I rotate it around, green could move, the white could move, and the black could move. You see what I'm getting at here? Let me see if I do this. The yellow goes there, right? And if the blue goes here, and the pink goes there, right? And if I put the green over here, the white there, and the black here, let me run through that real quick. So the first line checks out because of the blue. That's fine. The second line checks out because of the yellow, and the second spot is consistent. Same thing with the green one being all the way over to the left. That's fine. Now the yellow matches and the pink matches all the way over. And both blue and green would give us the white marble pegs, whatever we want to call them. Now this one, I have the yellow is okay. Oops, hang on. This might be not right now. So I don't have two red scoring pegs here, do I? Nope. Okay, so this won't work. All right, so what do I need for this one? Who needs to match here? Can I switch green? Can I switch green and white? Let me try that. So let's put green here and white there. All right, so let's go back up. Blue's fine still, yellow's fine still, green is fine still. All right, now onto this one here. The yellow and the pink are still okay. And the green and the blue both do white. All right, so this one I get the yellow and the green correspond to the red scoring pegs. White, blue, and pink all give us, right, okay. These are all, yep. And now let me make sure I have green, blue, and yellow, right? And then, all right, let's see what this does. Oh, no. So who gets to switch? Who can switch and still make it work? Who can switch and make it work? Can black and blue switch? If I switch black and blue, I don't think that works. If I switch black and blue, because that would mean the blue goes there. Yellow and green are fine. Okay, so I get 2 reds from the yellow and the pink. Then I get 2 reds from the yellow and the green. Then how would I get my 3? On that one I'd have yellow, green, Okay, I can't switch the blue and the pink. I can't switch the pink and the green, nor could I switch the pink with the black. I can't switch the pink. Okay, so the pink can't get switched with anybody without violating how the scoring has been done. All right, what about blue? Blue can't switch with green. I thought I just checked blue switching with black and that didn't work out. Let me double check that though. Let me just actually put them in and then I'll see. So if I say white goes here, yellow goes there, blue goes there, black goes there, green goes there, pink goes there. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, but I can't remember exactly why off the top of my head, so let's just run through it. So, this is fine, that's fine, that's fine. This I get the pink and the yellow. Give me the red pegs and the blue and the green. Give me the white pegs. Now this I have the yellow and the green for the red pegs and the blue, the white, and the pink. Give me the white pegs. Now these, blue, white, yellow, pink, green, black. Okay, those all whites there. Now here's the thing. White, okay, green, yellow, green, pink. Okay, yellow, green, pink, do that. Yeah, I think this one. Let's see what happens. Yippee-yi-yay, what do you know? Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can catch up on the comments here. Okay, yeah, I think I already mentioned Benjamin. Thank you for your kind wishes on my subs. And, oh, right, I already saw that one there, too. Well, it turned out the yellow was okay, but yeah, you're right, that could have been a bad assumption. But there's the thing, I tend to like, when I've made an assumption like that, I don't like changing it in the middle unless I've seen a reason for why. You know what I mean? Because then I get too confused. It's hard for me to keep my logic straight in my head. And this is actually a little bit more challenging to keep my logic straight in my head anyway, because I'm so used to seeing it with 5 that just seeing the, the extra thing, like it's so much easier when it's only 4 on the 4 one, and it's that much more difficult with this one. Just that extra space makes it, just that much more tough. But yeah, anyway, it worked out. We got there. Let's see what else comments-wise. Oh, any news on the skateboard? No, not yet. Partially just because I've been too busy doing other things. Like all day today, I was out in the front yard. Well, our yard is a mess, and it needs a lot of attention and work, and nobody else in the house seems to be willing to do anything about it. So I kind of am stuck doing it, which sucks because, I have my issues with my back. But so I was out for a good amount of time today, pulling up dandelions mostly, because, if you don't get the root, man, they'll be right back. So, and my sister and I have been talking about, making some big improvements, and, I've decided I want to start with the front yard just because why not? So I'm actually going to be spending some of my YouTube money on plants and things like that. Maybe that's a good idea for a video. What would you guys think? I could show you like some of the plants, etc., that I've been kind of, going to all these weird gardening sites and trying to, because, I have some criterion. I want the plants to be mostly local, and if they're not local, like native plants, because there's one or two that I think we might buy. They're not native, but they're not invasive either. So they suit this climate, and they don't run wild and do anything crazy. So that's that, and well, that's it basically. Because what I wanted to do is put in a fair amount of effort to get it looking nice, but do it in such a way that I don't have to do it again. You know what I mean? So bushes and plants that are like low maintenance, very little watering, very little, trimming and pruning kind of thing. Anyway, so I don't know. That might be an interesting, sort of idea for an excuse for me to babble oddly and show you pictures of stuff. Okay, so let's see. I think I still have some. Okay, so yeah, no news on the skateboard because I've just been busy, and excuse me. I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe before the end of this month. That's my goal. If I can have it done by the end of the month, then everything will be all right. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, the truth is, I want to do it because I think it'll be fun and interesting for me to do. But it's also kind of low on my priorities of things to do. So it's kind of anyway, it'll happen though. Anyway. Okay, yeah, there you go. What's black and blue? And thanks, Sandrine. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos, Felix. Thank you for the comment. And I've never tried dandelion tea. Well, I put them all into the big green. Anyway, our green. We have two big green bins that are out in the driveway, and they're both filled now because I did some tree pruning, a couple of days ago, and that filled up one of the bins, and then combined with kitchen waste and whatnot, the gardening from today filled up the second one. So yeah, a lot of green stuff for the guys to pick up on Monday. That's our trash day. Anyway, Sandrine. Yeah, let me know how it works for you, Sandrine, for doing that, kind of keep from making too many branches, I guess is the strategy, the way I would, characterize it. Thanks, Jess. I think, I'm going to have to add that to the list of stuff that needs to get made. Yes, there will be some tapping tonight, Rich. Oh, you know what, here, I'm going to go ahead and get off the game here for a minute because I'm reading comments, and I know a lot of you guys are really here to see the triggers, aren't you? So I may come back to that game a little bit later. But let me move this back this way, because it's just easier for me to keep track of what's going on. I have to remember, because I have the new camera, and I don't have it on top of my screen right now, because the cord that came with it is not long enough. It's like, man, that's just ridiculous. So I'm getting a new cord. Also, I'm going to get a much longer cord than I need. I think I'm going to get like 10 or 12 feet. Because the bottom of this little OBS spot, that's what I'm calling it now, it's OB spot, or I can't say OBS spot because I use it with OBS. It has the little hole on the bottom like cameras do, so I can put it on like tripods, and I have a little gooseneck thing, or not a gooseneck, a swivel ball thing that I used to put on the end of my mic stands. And I can put the camera on that, and that's how I do the overhead shots, like when I do the, like backgammon and that kind of thing. So, like right now, this is not recording in 1080, even though the camera can, just because you guys don't need to see my face in that much detail. I mean, all it's going to do is you'll be able to see how crappy my teeth are from, years of being a drunk. But why I do want it to be 1080, and it'll do better autofocus and all that stuff, is because when I do like the backgammon and the card games and stuff, it'll look visually better because it's a better camera. And so I'm looking forward to that. When I do those types of, or like show and tells and stuff like that, it should be much improved because it's a much better camera. And that was my main motivation. That, and have I already showed you guys the silly gesture nonsense? I don't know if I want to bother with that because sometimes it gets stuck. And anyway, anyway, let me, where am I at here? All right. Yes, sir, I'll be tapping. All right. Go back. All right. Wow. Okay, Sandrine, go to bed. Get some sleep. Eating and drinking at a Hooters. Okay, right on. Jesse, I don't know. Right now, I am enjoying the mind test, and it is super popular. I don't know if it'll stay popular for very long because I don't know how bored people will get, because I'm enjoying just sort of wandering around and kind of half-assedly building stuff. And I'm probably going to do a bit of that for still another episode or two. And then, in the next episode or two, I'm also going to finalize and pick where I'm going to build my city and, how I'm going to go about it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really happy that the mind test things are going well. I think I might put Enigma higher in rotation than it has been, as far as gameplays go, because it seems to be popular. And I just discovered the other day that there's a lot of levels that I didn't know. There's like tons and tons of stuff that I just didn't know were there. I don't know how ASMR like they'll be, or whether they'll be good for ASMR. But I guess it remains to be seen. And I've had people make suggestions of games, so I'll try to go back through the comments and find that kind of thing. But my main goal is, because I'm not really a gamer, I like playing games, but you guys know I mostly like the puzzle games. But I think of doing the games it's like I'm an ASMR guy who's using games to distribute ASMR, right? So if I'm open to suggestions of games as long as you think that that it would make good ASMR. I don't want action-packed games and stuff like that. I like things that I can be, because I already haven't. Well, like even right now, I feel like I'm already kind of talking too fast and stuff. See, I have to always fight that urge. So I don't want anything giving me an excuse to be rambunctious. Anyway. What did I eat for dinner? I haven't had dinner. I'll have it after this probably. Or maybe I'll go to bed without dinner. I don't know. I'm not feeling terribly hungry, so. Wait, where was I? Okay. Thanks, Jesse. Thank you very much for the encouragement for the algorithm. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, I've been trying to get better, trying to, be more careful of how I set up my equipment. And of course, the camera is now an improvement. And actually, the part of the thing also is that I did get a new audio interface. You know what I mean? I'm slowly, I think I kind of have this, now that the camera's here, I'm going to get a new green screen. I probably will spend a little bit more money on some more lights. But I think I'm happy with the interface, the new interface. And I'm really happy with this new camera. So I think I won't be updating any of that kind of stuff for a while now, because I'm pretty pleased with those. But yeah, now it's just a matter of me learning to get better at it. But I'm thank you for noticing. How's that? The Netherlands. Oh yeah, that's the idea, Jesse. I mean, Mind Test, it's so popular right now. It's going to be every other Monday for a while, I think. Um, but yeah, yeah, I should probably get a few more games into the. I think cause my plan is to kind of have it be Mind Test on a Monday, and then the next Monday I'll do a gameplay, and then the Mind Test on a Monday, and then the next Monday I'll do a gameplay, but it'll be more like the actual physical games where I'll play, backgammon and stuff like that. So Mondays will be basically game stuff, and then I'll fit the other stuff in as I can, or figure out how I want to do it. Oh, and if I do not like the backgammon and stuff, but because I do most of the computer gameplays with the lo-fi headset. So when I do, like I just did with the Enigma, where there's one on Monday was just the normal lo-fi headset thing, and then on Wednesday I did the Whisper version. So I think I'm going to try and do that. So for when I do the Codebreaker video, which will be coming up probably in a couple of weeks, I'll do a regular one with the lo-fi headset, and then I'll do one that'll be Whisper, that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's kind of my plan right now for trying to make the gaming stuff work well for me anyway, as well as you guys. Oh, I wasn't taking it as that you were being critical, Rich. I mean, because I'm, well, because there's an odd thing, right? I mean, as a musician, I've had a fair amount of experience. Well, not just as a musician, but I've had experience for like recording music before. So but recording music and recording ASMR are way two different things. Because with music, you're typically trying to get a strong signal, right? And I mean, you're trying to do that with ASMR too, but the like, for example, if you're recording a guitar amp, you typically have the guitar amp cranked up a little bit just to get it to work, you know what I mean, to get it to kind of do its thing. And then you put mics appropriately so you can get it right. Whereas ASMR, it's like you're always fighting all these other noises around and trying to, so it's a little weird. So it's, I think I am getting better at it though, well, anyway. Well, thanks, Jesse. Hey, Silas, how's it going? The Brutalist? No, I haven't heard of that. Yes, there will be glass tapping soon. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, Rich, as far as the resolution thing, that's part of the reason I'm not going to. Well, it's also if I do everything in 1080, it makes the file sizes bigger. And believe it or not, between my weird projects that nobody ever gets to see because they always, well, whatever, they just end up in, who knows, limbo land. But I have to be mindful of file size and stuff because I'm constantly having to take folders off and put them onto a thumb drive to, just so I can have it somewhere, you know what I mean? Although I'll probably never need to have access to any of these files once the movie's up or anything like that. Anyway, I am right across the bay from San Francisco. It's like, well, there's Oakland, which is immediately across, right? And then there's like San Leandro and then Castro Valley, right? That's where I live, is a place called Castro Valley. It's about if there's no traffic, it's, I don't know, about a half-hour drive to get into the city. Okay, hang on. Dylan, I'm not sure how to advise anybody on weight loss. I don't know if anybody else will have better advice for you or not, because I've always been fairly scrawny. So for me, the problem is weight gain. And but when I'm working out, I just have to eat a lot of a lot of protein. Well, yeah, I guess just keep at it, try to keep, your discipline up, and, hopefully things will switch around for you, man. Yes, Rich, there will be plenty of tapping, don't worry. I haven't even kicked off the timer yet. How many of us are there? Oh, there's 38. Okay. Here comes the evil timer. And as soon as I'm caught up with the comments, there will be tapping, etc. Actually, there'll probably be more tapping than usual because I just realized I didn't bring the crinkle bag over. So tonight will be largely tapping and brushing. Okay, let's see what we have here now. Thanks, Rich. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I think I'm going to try my hand at some more of the fractal stuff. Yeah, I have some ideas about that for NNSB stuff, NNSBB stuff. So that'll be, forthcoming soon, I hope. It's just a matter of me, it's just a matter of me getting down to it. That. Heavenly timer, there you go. Thanks, Kate Man, I appreciate that. Okay, now, I know it's been high in demand, so we'll do some tapping. And, I'm going to introduce a new bit of something. Okay, so I have this little set of probes kind of things for when I used to actually do electronic stuff, which I don't really do anymore. But, well, there's this. I don't know if, I may have got this out before. I don't remember. Seems like maybe I did. Because I have this, there's a wire brush, which is really, really stiff, so it might be a little much for doing. We'll see. Is that worth doing? It's hard for me to tell. I want to be kind of soft, or, not too hard on. I don't know. We might revisit that. But the main reason I wanted to get these out for that is I wanted to try it. I haven't even tried it yet. I just thought, oh, this might be fun to do. So here, let's see, which one do I want to do? Let's get this one. Oh, here, that's nice. Oh, that was too loud, wasn't it? That's a nice snap sound, though. Here, where am I going to put this out of the way here? I guess over here. And, okay, so I wanted to try tapping on glass with the probes because they're metallic, right? How's that? How is the probe on the glass? What do you guys think? Did I ever visit Napa Valley in your drinking days? Oh, yeah. I even visited it, before my drinking days because, I grew up here. And I've been to Napa a few times. It's beautiful up there. And, a lot of the wineries have, wine tasting rooms where you can get, food and, well, it's basically like restaurants, really, isn't it? Well, maybe not exactly like restaurants. I mean, the decor and the kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's, Get a really big explosion. Well, yeah, I mean, if at some point you're going to get down to a molecule, then you're going to get down to an atom, aren't you? Oh, there you go. That's the smart thing, Rich. Now, how is this if I do this? Because if I do this, seems, how about this? Here, let me see. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'll come back to the jar because I like the jar noise. But I also got, I don't know why I never thought about this here. Big old mason jar, right? I keep looking up there. It's not up there, man. It's over there. Okay. So I'm going to do this here. do this too. I don't know, I kind of like that. I have to be careful though, because if I hit too hard, it's going to get loud, man. Oh my goodness, there was a little bit of water in this. I just spilled it all over myself. All right, I might come back to this. I want to just use my fingers because it's just easier. Yeah, it's much easier for me. And I can kind of just do the whispering over here and the tapping over there. Whispering over here with the tapping over there. Whispering over here and the tapping over there. I'll switch and we'll do some whispering over here. Whisper, whisper, whisper. And the tapping over there. Man, he's already starting with the jokes, man. What are we going to do with this guy? Whisper, 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 tappy, tappy, tappy. Well, I'm glad you like the glass. I'm liking this mason jar thing. I don't know why I never thought about that before. Let's do this too. Oh, you know, I could talk into it like this while I'm doing this. How's that? That seems kind of odd and weird, but I kind of like, it seems, you know. Let's try it over here. So what are we going to talk about in here? I don't know. Saying some weird nonsense into the jar while I'm kind of tapping on the bottom. Hey, Jimmy Nitro. How's it going, man? Yeah. And we whisper into the jar. And maybe even a little bit of soft speaking into the jar while I'm tapping on the jar. Thanks, Jimmy. I think I said this last time. And you're walking, and you're falling. Walking, and you're falling. Walking, and you're falling. Maybe I should start saying, your eyelids are getting heavy. Listen to the tapping of the jar and realize that your eyelids are getting heavy. Continue to listen to the tapping on the jar. And realize that your eyelids are getting very heavy. It's okay to give in and just to close your eyes. It's perfectly acceptable in this particular situation. Go ahead and simply close your eyes. And you'll begin to notice that your limbs are feeling heavy. So heavy that you can't even move them. And you can feel all of the stress and tension in your limbs just melt away. Just melts think I must have started the timer later than normal. That's okay. After I was done with the gardening, I spent a fair amount of time sitting on the recliner with the massage pad, and so I'm feeling reasonably good tonight. I think I'm going to switch to a different thing to tap on here, because this is just kind of weird, you know what I mean? Hey James, good to see you, man. Okay, we'll come back to this. I'm really liking this. Oh, wait, this is... Man, I'm going to have to make a whole video on mason jar all by itself. I don't know why I never thought about this before, but they're a gold mine of stuff to do, aren't they? Plus, they've got those metal lids. I don't know. I don't even do this yet either, did I? Oh, here we go. You know I love these types of jar noises. Even better than the other one. Yeah, that's really good, isn't it? Nice noise. Nice noise. Nice noise. Nice, nice noise. Okay, I'm going to move to the good old chunk of wood. I quite like this one too. I know you guys have heard it before, so hopefully it's not too old hat, but I'm going to be tapping on the wood over there, just using the pads of my fingers at this time. I'll probably switch over to my nails in a little while, but for the moment, I will speak over here. Oops. While I tap over there. Yeah, I do too, Fafum. That's something about the little bit of extra resonance just is very satisfying. Tapping on the chunk of wood. Tapping on the chunk of wood. And we'll move over here. And we'll tap over there while I whisper right here. My beard get stop banging stuff, Bill. I can get up really close to the mic and just sort of, maybe I'll even try to do that sort of thing. know. I've never tried that. Yeah, a little bit, huh? A little bit. Good suggestion. And whispering over here. Whispering over here. Intelligible whispering over here. And I'll also just do a little bit of very, very quiet, very, very close-up whispering. It is my goal that when I'm doing it as quiet and as close that it might be actually mimicking it as if I were right up and doing it for real, whispering right into your ear. And now we'll do just a little bit of very quiet, up close whispering right here. And I'm going to switch to using my fingernails now. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference, isn't there? And I'll whisper over here while I'm tapping over there. I kind of like the sound the wood makes as I rotate it against the skin of my hands. I think it's a good sound. At least it is here in real life in the room. It's very nice. Well, I'll get the mason jar back in a little while. I like to have a little bit of variation though. And I like using the chunk of wood. It's very satisfying for me. So, every once in a while I gotta be a little bit selfish, you know. There's my glass. And I'm whispering over here. And I'm also softly speaking over here. And then I'll be whispering over here. A little bit of whispering over here. And some soft speaking over here. And now I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will speak softly here while I am tapping over there. And I am whispering over here. And also soft speaking while I am tapping over there. Okay, let's get to the... I'm going to do the beard brush. Then I'll go back to the jar for a bit. I know a lot of you like the tapping on the back of the beard brush. Oh, thanks, Rich. I like the tapping on this too. It's a little bit different. It's nice to have a little bit of variation, isn't it? Just a little bit of variation. I do sometimes use headphones. I don't know. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I do. I have in the past. For some reason, I feel more comfortable not wearing the headphones, though. Well, and you'll probably notice that I am pretty frequently glancing over at the audio meters on OBS because I want to make sure that I'm both strong enough that the signal is good so you guys can actually hear something decent, but trying to not be too rambunctious so that it clips and becomes sort of distorted or harsh sounding. And it is easier to maintain that sort of balance when I do have the headphones on. It's just that I prefer to be doing the streaming without the headphones. I don't know why, it just makes me feel more, I don't know, comfortable, I suppose. Thanks, Rich. High praise indeed. Oh, there goes my fridge. I should have turned it off, huh? Let me know if it's too annoying and I can go turn it off, but if it's not bugging you guys, I'm not going to bother. You know what, I'm going to have to go look again because you know, some people do. It is a weird thing to hear your own voice. I don't know. I don't know that I find it's weird for me to hear my voice anymore because, well, I just have for years and years because, you know, well, music, right? The thing for me is that I don't find my voice very ASMR-y. You know what I mean? ASMR is a weird word, isn't it? Well, Rich, there's two ways if you actually want to give me money. There's a thank you button that YouTube provides, and that's just kind of a one-time thing, which is fine, absolutely groovy. But don't feel obligated, though. And I also finally put together a Patreon, although there's really nothing to it. It just serves basically as a tip jar. So I guess its function is more or less if you want to give me $1 a month, then you can do that on Patreon. If you just want to give me $1 just at one time, then you can do that on the thank you. But again, you don't have to feel obligated. You know, I forgot I was going to go get the, let's see, here's this. Let me go to, where is it at? All right, it's not here. Where did it go? Let me do this real quick. I think it's in, oh, here we go. I think it's in this one here. Now, what's it called? I can never remember what I named it. It's this one, I think. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I don't need that now. All right, let me move this over here. And let me open this one back up. All right. Okay, hang on. I think a couple of comments just came in. Well, I will think good thoughts for you, Dylan. And, yeah, you know, just keep at it, man. You will get success. Okay, so here we go. I always forget these words, which is why I put it on a text file. And Armando. Yeah, Armando, I'm not a big fan of Microsoft for a couple of reasons. I don't think their products typically are that good, especially their operating system. they've also been guilty of some pretty predatory business practices that I think are kind of crappy. And yeah, I mean, there it is really. And also their attitude. They seem to have this attitude that it's not even your computer, right? It's a computer that uses their operating system, right? You know what I mean? It's almost like they feel like they own it. And I don't know, there's just a lot of that kind of crap that just, anyway. I'm a curmudgeon and I don't like Microsoft, so. Yeah, you know, the exercise thing, Dylan, is, well, I've done a lot of research on that, you know, so yeah. Make sure, well, you need to eat well, right? I mean, by well, make sure you get your vegetables, man, that kind of thing too. You need your protein, but you also need all the other vitamins and minerals to make the assimilation of that amino acids into, your muscle tissue, right? You also have to make sure that you get plenty of rest, like decent rest, because your body builds while you're sleeping mostly. And, you spend muscle when you use a muscle. I mean, it actually destroys muscle cells in the process. So your body needs to be given the time to rebuild, to put that stuff up. Also, there's a danger of having, I don't remember what they call it, but if you overwork out, you can put undue pressure on your kidneys because of the way they have to process the excess amino acids in your blood after you've spent so much, muscle tissue, essentially. Okay, hang on. Oh, you're welcome, Armando. Yeah, there you go, Jimmy. Oh, another thing, Dylan, that often isn't mentioned, visualization stuff. Like even when you're not working out, sometimes spending some time visualizing, making sure that you're, understanding the form. Get proper form. But then when you're doing the work, make sure that you're conscious, being mindful about what you're doing, not only to keep track of your form, but it's really important for your body to establish the mind-body connection that absolutely contributes to the development of muscle tissue. Yeah, that's true, Fafum. I forget about that. I mean, since I'm so thin, whenever I make any progress, I notice it on the scale pretty much immediately, but I am trying to gain weight when I work out, so. 3 times a week can be a pretty good frequency, depending on, how hard you're working. Sounds like you're working pretty hard, though, so, don't overwork, of course. Yeah, right on. There you go. Okay, let's pick a different thing here for a minute. Oh, let me, just since I got this here, might as well do a little bit of this, huh? Okay. Before I bring back the mason jar, I'm going to do a little bit of microphone brushing, because I like doing that. I bumped this, didn't I? I'll just leave it, never mind. It's not that big a deal. And I will whisper and brush and soft speak all into the same microphone. And then I'm going to switch over to the other one. So I will whisper and I will soft speak and whisper as I'm brushing the microphone all at the same time at the same microphone. Matthew, thank you very much. Any updates on life in general? Well, a little. I have to move this. It's starting. Hopefully that's not. There we go. Okay. The weirdness of it was causing me. Anyway, I got distracted. Sorry. Any updates on my life in general? Well, doing some gardening. That's a big one. I've been spending a fair amount of time with that. What else is it? Oh, I got, since you came in, I don't know if you saw already that my niece, she just dropped by tonight with her partner, and they gave me a hand-me-down cannabis vaporizer. You know, the ones that you put actual, leafy material into. Not one of the, the fluid ones, like you just get, little cartridges with batteries from the places, Anyway, so those are a couple of big things. I think I'm finally beginning to sort of settle into my new strategy of, output. Oh, anyway, I forgot to do the thing. Man, I'm just so... All right. Thank you very much, Matthew, for your generosity. I'm getting so sloppy about this nonsense. I've been so distracted. Anyway, so I appreciate your generosity. Absolutely. It is super important to me that kind of thing happens. And I do take it as high praise. So everybody knows how this goes now, right? Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, ah, ah. Okay, anyway, now I'll go back to the... Anyway, thanks again, Matthew. Go back to the brushing and the whispering and the brushing. And I'll do a little bit of whispering and some soft speaking. I guess that came out more like a whisper, didn't it? Creed Crazy, thank you. And I'm going to whisper and soft speak as well. I'm going to do a little bit of whispering and some soft speaking. And I will whisper over here. And then I will do some soft speaking. Okay, a little bit more whispering over here. Actually, I'll whisper over here while I brush over there. How's that? I'll whisper over here while I brush over here. Wait, brush over there, whisper over here. I feel like I'm very absent-minded this evening. Oh, I got out the text file and I didn't do anything with it. Okay. Catatonic catacombs constantly cater to captivating creatures. Catatonic catacombs creatures. Catatonic. Catacombs. Constantly cater to captivating creatures. Catatonic. Catacombs. Constantly cater to captivating creatures. Catatonic. Catacombs. Constantly cater to captivating creatures. And I'll do a little bit of whispering over here. Just a little bit of whispering over here. And do a little more whispering over here. Well, what time is it getting to be? So we're... Still have plenty of time, so I may switch over and do a little bit more of the Mastermind here in a few minutes. But before I do that, I will switch back over to the mason jar just for a few minutes. Okay, here we go. Mason jar time again. Okay. I think to start with, I'm just going to do it with my fingers. Catatonic. Catacombs. Constantly cater to captivating creatures. I'm going to do a little bit more of this. Let's do some talking into the jar while I tap the jar. We will talk into the jar as I also tap on the jar. Catatonic. 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 And we will speak into the jar and tap on the jar at the same time. Tap on the end of it, how's that? While I speak into the jar, I will tap onto the bottom of the jar, and I will speak softly into the jar as I intermittently tap on the bottom of the jar. Oh, well, that's really nice. There's like a little... I never noticed the little logo thing on the bottom. see. And I will speak into the jar as I am tapping onto the bottom of that jar. You know, Dylan, I think you may be premature in that assumption, you know. Foretelling the future is a pretty difficult trick. I will tell you one thing. You can will yourself into that sort of failure, my friend. It's better to find a way of bolstering your self-esteem and confidence and approach the world from that. Not to say that that's easy. And I will speak into the jar as I tap onto the bottom of that jar. I'm going to do a little bit more of this just because I like it too. Oops. Catatonic. Catatonic. Oh no, the camera's doing weird things. Stop doing that, man. I think it's misinterpreting. When I put my hands up, it thinks that I'm trying to do one of the gestures to make it do stuff. And I don't want it to do that, man. And I'll be whispering over here a little bit while I'm doing that. I really like that noise. Yeah, I really do like that noise. I'll do a little bit over here. I'm gonna add it. Okay, I'm gonna try and do. Oh, stop doing that thing, man. Just go back to the normal thing. Well, I'm just gonna ignore it and hopefully it'll just go back and do. So see what it does? It like it's trying to follow me or something. Just give it up, man. God, let's see, what do I need to do to make that stop? Let me do this here. There we go. Thank you. Just stop doing the thing. Okay. not really, because I'm stuck with using the camera as it functions out of the box, because there is an app that I can use with it, but it's not supported in Linux, excuse me. So I'm kind of stuck with, what it does. Yeah, it kind of does have a mind of its own. Well, it is, it's AI, right? That's it's like, I think an appropriate use of AI technology actually is that kind of thing. Anyway. Let's do a little bit of alternating between some things here. I'll do a little bit of whispering here. No, I don't. I'm not going to shave my beard. I mean, I try not to say never about anything, you know what I mean? Because, I also reserve the right to change my mind about anything at the drop of a hat if I so desire. But yeah, I doubt I will shave the beard. I think it's a pretty low priority thing. My week was okay. Thanks for asking, Niall. Yeah, Linux, right on. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of this now, too. I'm going to speak into the jar a little bit. I wonder and see if I can kind of do both things at once a little bit. What happens if I speak into the jar while I'm kind of tapping? It doesn't seem to be working so well. I guess I could just alternate. And then do a little bit of whispering, and then just whispering, and then speak and whisper into the jar. Yeah, there is Dylan, but I can't access it. Yeah, it's okay. On my side of the world, thanks for asking, or suggesting that, or whatever. Man, I'm just such a veg tonight. Probably from being out in the sun all day pulling weeds, but... Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of close-up whispering over here. Close-up whispering over here while I'm doing the tapping on the top of the jar like that. I don't know, does that count as tapping? A little bit of just normal tapping, too. Yeah, the big jar is not, it's going to be a permanent part of the Saturday night fun. What are you trying to do with your Linux computer, if you don't mind my asking? And which flavor of Linux are you running? I'm using Pop! OS. And I will whisper over here. And I will whisper over here while I'm tapping over there. I'm whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. And I'm whispering over here now while I'm tapping over there. I'm whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. Okay, I'm going to give the trigger stuff a rest for a minute. And I'm going to go back and play the Mastermind thing. Let's see, let's put this, I guess this can just stay over there for the moment. Let me move this one over to here, but move it out of the way so I can see the comments being happening. Alright, let me put, this can just go over here. Yeah, let's go back to here. Let me go back to here. I'm going back to the 4.1 just because I'm feeling lazy. And using Fedora. You know, I used to use Fedora like, oh wow, 20 years ago or something. You know, I have never ran virtual machines. I have no experience with that. I've never really had a need for it. Yeah, I like Pop! OS a lot. In truth, when I got the machine, because I bought a machine from System 76, people who develop Pop! OS, and it wasn't so much that I knew anything about Pop! OS, really. I was like, you know, I'm fairly, I don't know, I don't really love or dislike any particular flavor of Linux, you know what I mean? It's whatever. I've been fine with whatever I've had. I did use Fedora for quite a while, though. It was Fedora Red Hat. I don't remember which number of the thing it was back then, but it was a long time ago. Yeah, but anyway, I bought the machine from them because I wanted to be able to have customer service support, since I was going to be using it, you know, for, well, trying to make a YouTube channel be my, you know, career, I guess. You know, this late in life, that's kind of crazy, huh? Anyway, they're super good about support, but I find Pop! OS to be pretty fantastic. Yeah, I've had no real issues with it. I've had issues with other things. Well, like, you know, this camera not being able to run the controlling software for it. And I have a similar issue with the Focusrite audio interface. But, like, that's, you know, that's just because businesses aren't catching up, you know. So, anyway, now that I've moved stuff around a bit, let me switch over to the gaming window. And there we go. Doing the four... Okay. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do the silly. Start with one color. I mean, it's not that much different from, you know, what I did before, is it? Just because, you know. And let's do this one. I think I was going back and forth there just a second ago, wasn't I? Like you had to do on the old one. I forget the how to do that. Here we go. So yellow's in. Introduce green. Hey, green's in too. So yellow and green. Now let's throw in the pink. And there we go. Okay, pink's not in, and green is not in the correct place. So we will move that, and we will toss in the white one. And, okay, so is it the green one or the white one that I got correct? Well, it's going to have to be the white one, isn't it? Because the green one will have nowhere, or the white one would have nowhere to go if it were the green one that were correct. So, yellow, white, and green has to go there, because otherwise we'd already tried the green there, right? And so it's going to be either black or purple here. Okay, it's going to be purple. Boing. 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 Yay. Alright, let's go to another one of those, I guess, just for fun and whatever the hell. Okay, and it looks like there's some comments that are happening. Okay. Oh yeah, Anonymous. It's a different website. The old one doesn't work anymore. I can't seem to get. Well, the site is there, and it seems like, you know, the code is intact for that, you know, whatever. But the images are the path to the images is broken. There's no, you know. So I don't know what's going on with that. But that's fine. So this is a new one. Here, I'll go back just so you can see the thing. So I'm glad I found it, because I can have 4, 6, or 8 code lengths, and it will also allow it to do duplicates. Right now play the 4 one with no duplicates because it's just super easy that way. And I'm feeling like having a super easy Saturday night, so. I'll be making a video of this in probably a couple of weeks, and I'll put the link in. Or I could just tell you guys the link right now. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, let me do this real quick. Okay, beware, I'm going to shrink this, and I think it's going to not be dark mode anymore, because something about the way this website does, it does that. So, you know, shield your eyes from the bright white nonsense that's about to come glaring out. Okay, it's plays.org mastermind-online, right? Oh, forget the slashy guy there. So here you go. All right, let's go back to there. That's much, much better. All right. And, okay, so red's not in. How about blue? Okay, blue is in. Okay, I didn't pick the right spot. Let's just move it, and let's toss in green. And, all right, so we have to keep moving the blue. I'll put the green over here. Let's toss in the pink. You know, I think since this one only has the 4 spaces, I think it'll be a lot more conducive to doing tutorials. Yeah, I imagine it'd be a good deal easier for people to grab hold of. Okay, now it's just a matter of which order do the black and the purple go in. I'll just stick them like this. What do you know? Okay. I wish they had a, play new game button on this page right here. Okay, hang on. What are we doing here? Oh, wow. A D&D. That's an interesting use of a AI sort of thing. Interesting. How is that? Is it doing what you were hoping it to do? Was it allowing you to get the results you're after for the D&D thing? Here, I'll just start with purple this time. Why not? No purple. How about green? Hey, green's in. And let's go get the black one now. Oh, no, didn't pick the right spot for green, so we'll move it. And, okay, let's do blue, I guess. So we still got to move the green, but the good news is the blue only has one more place to go, so the blue has to go there, so we know that one's right at least. And let's see, I guess white is what I'm bringing in now. Oh, come on, I thought I clicked that. Hey, what do you know? So which white? The left one or the right one? I'm going to say that it's the left one. And where am I at? I'm going to put in, let's take the red, I guess. Oops, clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Hey, what do you know? All right, let's do another one of these. Okay, we're down under a half an hour, so I'll just do maybe 1, maybe 2 more of these. Okay, what is he saying? Anonymous. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, cool. I'm glad it's working out as a good tool for you. See, that's the kind of stuff that makes me go, okay, yeah, that's a good use of an AI. Like the stuff for this camera, That kind of, if you're using it as a tool to help human creativity, that's groovy. I just get so frustrated and angry with people that are using it to replace human creativity. You know, it's like, it seems to me like I'm hearing a lot of ads on, I listen to Spotify pretty frequently just because I like their recommendation kind of, situation. I mean, well, anyway, it works well for me. But man, there's been ads that I'm like, this has to be AI generated just because it's so, I don't know, it's just, It's difficult to explain why it feels that way, but like sometimes it's just stuff that's like, it's like, what? Oh, why did I just do that? I don't know. Interesting. So now I don't know which one it was. I'm sitting here talking more than I'm paying attention. I'm going to say this just to see what happens. All right, so it's the green then. Yellow. And the green didn't go there, so let's try it there. Oops, there we go. All right, so it's yellow, green. And the white's going to go there. And let's throw in the black. Hey, what I got? Oh, hey. Wow, Josh, thank you very much. Yippee-yi-yay, thank you. It's like groovy, groovy, groovy. Thank you very much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. Okay, now we all know how this goes, right? Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, ah. Ah. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it. Okay, I'll play one more, and then I will go back to, I don't know, maybe the jar, maybe the brush, I don't know. All right, I'm going to, just for fun, I'm going to do this. Okay, which one is it then? Yeah, that's the thing. It's only really kind of interesting for the first one, isn't it? Okay. It's the blue one. Let's put in yellow, I guess. Hey, Amir, how's it going? All right. Wait, what am I doing? Here we go. All right, now, I guess we've already tried green. I did them weirdly out of order than what I would normally habitually do, so kind of threw me for a second there. All right, just keep the pink there, I guess. Do this. Oh, and let's see, I only have a few left to try even, so. Okay, well, again, we're lucking out with the, right, since we know this one, right? And we know all three of these are in here now, but the white and the pink can't be where they are, so white has to go there. There's no other option for it. Now I still have a 50-50 on the pink one here, but now I also have a 50-50. Is it black or purple? But we'll see there. What do you know? Good guess, I guess. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for the moment. Let's go over to here. Let's go back to here. Now let's move this over to there. Okay, now I can still see the comments. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, man, go doze off, man. Have a good night's rest. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for saying hey. I appreciate that. Yeah, Russ, it's, yeah, I mean, it's just a few minutes, but what is it left? There it is over there, 23 minutes. Yeah, that's it's not zero. Okay, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? Just since it's a new thing, I'm going to do some more with the mason jar. Just because, oh, and Russ, I don't think you've seen the mason jar yet, have you? So, mason jar. But it's a nice device to tap on as well as speaking into it, speaking into the jar while I'm tapping it at the same time, whispering into the jar while I'm tapping it at the same time, and speaking into the jar while I'm tapping on it at the same time, speaking into the jar as I'm tapping on it. And I'm speaking into the jar while I'm tapping on it. And I will whisper into the jar while I am tapping on it. I will whisper into the jar while I am tapping on it. Whispering into the jar while I am tapping on it. Wow. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you out there. I'm going to just say under, if that's okay, under E Records. Wow, thanks, Amir. That's good to know that it's worked. Yeah, this is the first. I don't know why I never thought about doing the mason jar before, Russ, but yeah, it's been a big hit so far this night. Ooh, wow, Ryan, my goodness, that's super generous. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are just fucking spoiling me tonight, man. I really, really do appreciate it. Okay, once again, we know how this goes, right? And I'm glad you liked the stream, Ryan. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, ah. 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 Everybody give cheers and thanks for Ryan and yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try this real quick, just for fun and giggles. And the crowd goes, ah. I think that might be the new way of doing that. And the crowd goes, ah. Oh, hey, James, I didn't even notice. Is that where we're at? I haven't been watching that. Oh, right now it says we're only at 50 some odd, but it looks like it got up over 60 for a few minutes there. Nifty. I think my biggest, I think it's 67 is the most number I've had at one time. So, hey, it's growing, Once upon a time it was, good if I got over 20. Well, some of you will be aware of that. Because you've been here since then, you know what I mean? And I like this whole speaking into the jar thing. I really like how it sounds. I like speaking into the jar. I'm going to do a little bit of this. It can be the tip jar. Oops. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I think I'm going to try this at a very slow pace like that. I'm going to like that. And I will just sort of babble and nonsense over here. A little bit of whisper. Maybe a little bit of whisper. And a little bit more whisper. Oh yeah, I forgot. You hadn't mentioned it earlier. So what's going on? What's going on with that other guy that you were going to do some stuff with, collaborative wise for podcast stuff? Is that still going to work out, or what's going on with that? some stuff over here while I'm kind of doing the tapping on the opening of the jar. Sort of a mixture of, I don't know, what is this? Kind of an odd tapping because I'm tapping on the rim of the jar while I'm covering up the jar's opening with my fingers as I do the tapping, giving it almost a weird, almost tuned to percussion sort of sound, right? Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, you know, that's the thing when you're collaborating with people, right? You have to work out who's, getting schedules and things line up sometimes can be difficult. I mean, I remember when I was in bands, that was, there was always some kind of issue. Wait a minute, so no, bro, I started doing ASMR, well, because I've been a consumer of ASMR since I discovered it on YouTube, way back, I don't even remember when, but way before I, started making videos anyway. And I decided that, I don't know, I thought it might be interesting and fun kind of thing to do, but also that I've kind of felt it would be worthwhile to try to kind of give something back to the ASMR world, since I'd, received so much kind of enjoyment and benefit from it, So Dylan, is it that you don't like the sound of your own voice? I mean, I know a lot of people, because your voice sounds different when it resonates inside your own, skull, because of that happens, right? And as opposed to what just bounces into your auditory canal and, moves the, what is it, the stirrup and the anvil and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember all those bones. Heebie-jeebie. Oh, the camera's, there it went back. Holy mackerel. Well, I'm going to have to ask you this. Are you sure that it's that your voice sounds weak, or is it just that your voice sounds different to you than, oops, hang on. My 10 o'clock alarm is going off. There we go. I have to go back to this thing now. It ruined me for being on the timer. Why did you do that? Here we go. That was my 10 o'clock take a pill alarm. Because otherwise I'll forget to take my gabapentin, which I should probably just go ahead and take. Yeah, you guys get to watch me eat a pill. Here's my pill jar. EBIA. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I was saying something to Dylan about, I don't don't know, it might not be that your voice is really all that weak. It might just be that there's a difference between what other people hear and what you hear. So, don't be too hard on yourself. And also, think about what it is you're doing. If I remember properly, your podcast is going to be on topics to do with your faith in Christianity, correct? It's not necessarily that the timbre of your voice that's important. I mean, for me, doing ASMR, the timbre of my voice is super important, right? Because that's the thing that, most people like about, my ASMR is that they like the sound of my voice. But if you're just trying to explore ideas and express them to people to maybe have some exchange of human insight, the timbre of your voice isn't what's important. What's important is the clarity of your thought, right? And it also seems like you're, if you don't mind my making, the comment, it seems like you're being a little down on yourself, and my experience, and granted it's limited because we only interact, with any regularity via this right here, right, doing the live streams. But, you strike me as a reasonably intelligent guy who seems like a decent human that, is trying to do something creative in good faith to, offer something to other humans that will actually have value. So I don't think you should be running yourself down so much, maybe, Anyway. Terraria, I did hear of Terraria. Somebody had suggested that before. I'll have to go back and look at it again. I don't remember why it was that I did that. It's not on the, oh man, stop doing that, man. Go back. What are you doing, man? Do the thing. Go back. Here, there we go. Thank you. Nope. There. Holy mackerel. What a chaotic night it's been, huh? Okay, we're getting down to 10 minutes, so. Hey, Jaden. Made it in for the last 10 minutes. I know, they're kind of funny. They kind of annoy me. I don't know. I guess it's just because of my own expectations, right? In MSC, when you said that, the first thing that came to mind was, what's that movie? Grosse Point Blank. Have you seen that film? Well, I'm glad you made it, Alan. I'm okay, Jaden. Sorry you guys are here so late. I mean, well, I guess you're here when you're here, and there's, I can't do anything about that, obviously, but, it's just, I feel bad that you're only going to get, this few little minutes here, because I'm not going to stay too much extra tonight, just because, well, it's been a weird long day for me, so I'm going to want to go wind down. I always get kind of amped up after this. You know what I mean? Well, this is more or less my, I don't really go out anymore. So this is my social Saturday night. Hanging out with you guys. This is what I do for fun on Saturday nights, for fun and profit. Well, yeah, I guess you can always go back and see the replays, right? I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? It's up there. Stop doing the thing, man. It's doing it again. There you go. Heebie-jeebie. I think it's misinterpreting my gestures when I'm moving the jar around, I think is what's going on. Maybe I have to find a better way of doing that. I don't know. I thought maybe if I kept it low that it would realize that it's... Yeah, I forgot to kick the timer off at its normal, I mean, I usually do it like, what, after like 15, maybe 20 minutes or something like that, but I kind of just forgot about it, and then, so, yeah. Stop doing that. I don't get its zooming behavior, man. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world, right? It's just silly idiosyncrasy of this little webcam. Oh, fresh Boudreaux. I forgot about that. Oh, I think that's one of Dan Aykroyd's better roles, really. Yeah, it's a theme in the assassin type things, isn't it? Killing of dogs, right? Isn't that in the John Wick thing, right? Killed his dog too. But Grosse Point Blank, I really liked. I especially liked it when he gets that guy with the pen. What, he's some kind of Basque separatist or something. Well, you're right, I can't know, right? But, I'm going to just assume that you are because, if not, then there's at least, a larger than zero chance that you might end up either have harm come to you through such a profession or maybe jail, So, it's more pleasant for me to consider that you are joking. So if you don't mind, I'm going to selfishly make that assumption. I think I am getting better at it, Russ. I mean, I guess you guys are the ones that have to be the judge of it. I mean, I can only do what I think is, the best thing I can do, and put it up there, and hopefully you guys dig it. I'm going to assume that I do okay because I have a really, really high ratio of likes on my videos. I don't think I have one that has, lower than 90% thumbs up. I mean, most of my videos are like 95% and up, really. At least I think, the last time I looked at him, that's what it seemed like. Maybe I'm being, too egomaniacal about it, but yeah, like if you compare the audio quality that I'm getting lately in the past, year or whatever, go back and look at the collaboration I did with ER. I mean, because there's a glaring difference in his sound quality and mine in that video. I mean, I think it was a good video, and I think it, was worth doing, and I feel pretty happy about it. But it is true that he had better audio than I did at the time. I think my audio's gotten a lot better than it used to be back in the day. But the Supreme Court said so. That's funny, Anonymous. That's really a good one. I like that. That's kind of funny, Ross. And we'll do a little bit of whispering over here because we're winding down near the end here. Oh, there you go. You know how I love that PB&J, baby. I had a PB&J today, which I don't think surprises anybody. But yeah, a couple of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, man. I'd get the full belly syndrome and I would definitely be sleepy. I usually just stop at one. But then I also cram on a lot of peanut butter on my sandwiches, so. You know, I don't ever keep track of whether it's the top or the bottom, so I don't know. You know, that reminds me of the whole cream or jam on the top of the scone thing. What is it? It's like, I remember it's like in Devon they do it one way, and in someplace else they do it another way. It's over in the UK or whatever, I guess. But what, you don't slather the peanut butter on? I mean, the way I do it, the peanut butter is almost as thick as the bread. You know, I'll have to make a video where I actually just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you guys can see, you know. Because I've had people go, dude, you must like peanut butter. Yeah, I like sandwiches, man. My favorite sandwiches are peanut butter and jelly and albacore. I mean, once in a while I like to get a, you know, like a roast beef sandwich or something like that, but Grandma, right on. Oh, yeah, you know, the thing is I don't take milk in my tea, so it doesn't matter to me. The only thing I put in tea is a little bit of sugar. You know, I have put peanut butter on pancakes just because, you know, being a lover of peanut butter, I try putting it on things. Oh, did I tell you guys about I had French toast a while back. I don't remember if it was before the last stream or not. I think it probably was. So if I've said this already, forgive me for repeating myself. I made myself some French toast, but I realized I didn't have syrup, so I used fig preserves on French toast instead of syrup. And it was really, really good. I just put a little bit of mayonnaise with the albacore, just enough to keep it from, you know, falling out of the sandwich, really. I don't like too much on it, just, you know, like I said, enough to kind of stick it together. That and bread, that's it. Bread and albacore with the you know, small amount of mayonnaise. Oops, the timer went off, so you know, I'll go ahead and make it be invisible just because why look at it if it's not doing anything, right? There we go. Okay, so I guess it's time to wind this evening down. Is there any last minute comments or questions or... And the thing's doing it again. Stop. Just stop. Okay, thank you. Jeez. This camera. Hey Tristan, you're just in time to see me sign off. I'm just asking everybody if they have any last minute comments or questions before I sign off for the night. But of course, you know, there's always next Saturday. You know, like the dynamic zooming. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe sometime I should leave it in the, because one mode is zooming and one mode is what they call framing, and that's what it keeps wanting to do. It keeps wanting to slip into framing mode, because when you zoom, like it zooms in like 2 times and then zooms out. But it's, yeah, that's about all there is to it. Well, thanks for showing up and chiming in, Tristan. It's good to hear from you. That's nice to know that you came by. Who's my favorite ASMR artist? You know, I get this question a lot. It's Maria for Gentle Whispering. Although, you know, I don't usually listen to male voices, but I have been listening to Massage ASMR a little bit this last week. I listened to a couple of his different videos, which is, usually I mostly listen to women. And, you know, I don't know, probably almost half the time I'm listening to Maria. Well, you know, I guess if the universe has nothing to keep it from expanding, then I suppose it would just, you know, indefinitely expand, right? I don't know. Well, you know, yeah. If you gotta go see the wrestling, you gotta go see the wrestling. I understand, man. Well, you know, it's you know, everybody's got their own habits there. Is that, should I say that sorry or is that sorrel? I can't make it out from my glasses are not working so well. Maybe my eyes are changing to the place that I'm not going to be able to use these that much anymore. Well, you know, I'm glad you said something. I appreciate the fact that, you know, that they are successfully working, and well, assuming that you want to have, you know, yourself go to sleep, which I guess maybe you don't if you're trying to do housework, so I don't know. You know, if you can make it to the stream, of course, Rob, I'd rather have you here, but, you know, I'm not going to hold it against you if you got to go check out the wrestling. Of my biography for us, please. You know, yeah, probably I think I've done a little bit of that kind of thing here and there. I don't know, yeah, I have been kind of thinking about doing something along those lines, so it's just a matter of trying to figure out what all I want to actually tell you guys about and what all I don't, right? You know what I mean? There's some things that it's probably best left unsaid, and there's some things that, you know, people like to keep private. You have to have some sort of, you know, sense of, you know, privacy about certain issues. But yeah, I don't know when it will be coming, but yeah, I'll make one. It'll be just sort of like where I'm born and, you know, where I went to school and at least a few of the crappy jobs I've had, maybe even a couple of the decent jobs I've had. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to come out. It'll happen, just I don't know when. Okay, gang, I'm going to call it done tonight because I can feel my back saying it's time for bed, so I'm going to go chill out and see what's what. You've had a lot of coffee tonight. Well, if you've had the coffee, maybe you'll be able to stay up and do your own thing then, man. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, you guys. And for those of you who, you know, gave me a few bucks, I really do appreciate it. That's fantastic. And I guess until next Saturday, guys. Yeah, I guess that's it. I hope to see you all next Saturday. How's that? Aloha, siblings. And there goes the camera.